So then, welcome down to Spa-Francorchamps for this third race of Division 5 in Season 2. And we got 17 drivers with us tonight, and I believe we've got a new driver, HQ Ibo, there in the Haas, I think that is. So welcome down, welcome to DTR, and enjoy your first race, and all the best of luck out here in qualifying. So we've got one car out at the moment, which is Benson Business Hodges. If someone can let me know in the chat if they can hear my voice, just make sure the audio levels are good and stuff, that would be brilliant. And we ride on board on the outlap. So we'll get the menu up, get all the track map on here as well, and telemetry. Okay. It's all good. We are all good to go. So yeah, Spa-Francorchamps, one of, if not the largest track on the calendar, consisting of 18 turns altogether in the newer format compared to the old one, and we can see rain. I've got first-hand experience of that, as I got stuck there this year with the Grand Prix in the rain, didn't see the race, was not happy at all, but that is Spa-Francorchamps. Anything can happen. It can be sunny one minute and raining the next, and it's always an interesting race, a very big lap, a lot of corners to get right, and we are gonna jump on board with Business Hodges as he begins his hot lap. How do I get the... there we go. So here we go, he crosses the line to begin his hot lap, and as he comes into turn 1, wants to put it into second gear here, get a nice exit in third and short shift to fourth. As he comes down, heading through Eau Rouge and Radion, tricky corner for most, especially in the race when it's two abreast through there. Seen many big crashes there over the years. As Business Hodges comes down to Les Combes. Nice and smooth. If you catch the right curve there, you will go off. This is a very, very tricky sector too. I struggle on this quite a bit. As he comes now heading down towards Pouan. Yep, he's avoided the curb nicely there, which is good. Touch that and you are off. There's my good friend Nelboy. We've seen him experience that a couple of times, and it is deadly. So you just want to stay away from that curb. No need to go near it. As he comes through sector 3. Out of Stavio, so lap's still good. He's not invalidated it yet, so he's going to get a lap time in there as he comes through the final bus stop chicane, 18 and 19, as he crosses the line for a 146 dead, which is pole at the moment. And we flick through and see who's coming next. We've got D-Max, one of the quicker drivers at the moment. He's just on a 144 dead, 2 seconds faster. Good time for him on the soft tyre. Our new driver HQ, he's coming through the bus stop chicane now. Let's see what he can do as he crosses line P3 146.9. So from the first 5 drivers, there's big time difference at the moment. I think we do have a fast pack at the front and a slower group at the back. But as I've said before, they will speed up as the season goes on. We're missing the McLaren driver today, Mr. Long. He is one of the quicker drivers. McLaren are a really good team this season. They've got a good chance of getting the constructors for sure, from what we've seen so far. So he'll be hoping to be back next week, as they will want to keep up some good form for that. So what we'll do is we'll take a look. Standings. Just trying to find the Division 5 standings. Here we go. Yes, at the moment we've got McLaren at the top of the constructors here on 48. Oh, so HQ's pulling over. Who is next to be on a hot lap? So King Boba's pulling over as well. Skipper has a bit of a rivalry with Reliot, from what I could see in the chat earlier. Basically discussing an incident that happened last week. Both feel they was not in the wrong, so that could be an interesting on-track battle today if we get to see that, as he comes in through the exit of Puon. As we was, McLaren top of the constructors at the moment on 48, with AlphaTauri just behind on 43. AlphaTauri may be able to make some big gains on that today. They may be taking top spot with Mr. Long not being here. Ferrari, they're in third on 40 points. Bogorovsky, G-Infamous, solid performances from them so far, with Mercedes, Alfa Romeo just behind on 33. And then there's a little gap then to Mercedes and Alpine. D-Max is on top of the championship standings at the moment with 43 points, with Benny Buno just behind on 38. Close battle between them two, both very fast drivers. G-Infamous just behind them on 28 points, and then it's Gunnar and Reliot. So looking at the leaderboard, we've got Florian, who's done a 143.6 to get provisional poles so far, with Reliot and P2. As we go through the grid, and who is on a hot lap? So who's in sector 3? We've got the Alpine of Pepsi Lover Papi. I think he retired last race at Baku. A little wide there as he comes out of Malmedy. He's struggling a little bit here. His racing line wasn't brilliant through there, but if he can improve on the 147, that would be great. I think he should do that as he comes through the bus stop chicane. Bit of a bad exit there. No. Slower on that lap, running about a second slower as we see who else is on a hot lap. And we've got the Ferrari of G-Infamous as he crosses the line to P5, 144.6, and the Mercedes are next with composite boxes and Skipper. Okay, I thought Skipper would have boxed, but he's decided not to. Look at the track map, we have got the Alfa Romeo, I think, crossing the line. Let's get down with the Red Bull, who's in sector E. He's just coming through the bus stop chicane. Man like donkey. All things are not out lap at the moment, just beginning his hot lap, so we'll jump on board with him in the Red Bull. Currently 7th in the constructors, and Man Like Donkey himself is currently 10th. Currently 10th in the drivers' standings at the moment with 8 points. As he comes through Eau Rouge, nice and smooth there for the Red Bull driver. Heading up the Kemmel Straight towards Lecombs. Turn 5 and 6 Lecombs here, then turn 7 Malmedy. So no time set yet for Man Like Donkey. Possibly saving a set of tyres for the race. If people can put in the chat if it's going to be a wet race or a dry race, that'd be great if you know. And we could just leave it as a surprise with Spa usually having a mixture of wet and dry phases of the race. So we'll jump on board as he comes through sector 2 or sector 3, sorry, as he comes up towards turn 16 and turn 17, Blanchimont. It's looking like it should be an alright time, I think. As he comes through the bus stop chicane, nice and smooth, and a good exit. So this is going to put Man Like Donkey P4, 144.1, really good run from him. I think we've got one of the AlphaTauris coming up. And this is no judge, no problem. Just our night lap at the moment. He's beginning his hot lap. So this team, they are going to push to try and get on top of the Constructors' Championship this week. If they can outperform Benny Bino in the McLaren. Benny Bino in the McLaren has done a 144.9 on the medium tyre. Is looking to start in the top 10 on a preferred strategy of the harder compound. I am not 100% sure what the strategy is on this track. My race is tomorrow and I need to get some practice in. But I think in general on tracks like this I'd usually want to start on the medium and see how the race develops, and you have a much bigger window to pit under safety cars, VSCs, stuff like that. So my personal preference, would be to start on the medium tyre for sure. As Judge comes through P1, heading down towards turn 12 and turn 13. Here is he's approaching sector 3. So sector 2, he's up 8 tenths at the moment. Purple there in sector 2 as well, which is really good for him. So as it stands, we've still got Florian on pole with D-Max just behind with a 43.8. 7 tenths there, quite surprising. Florian's got some really good pace on display today, and No Judge goes up into P5 there. Really good run from him, 144.3, and we are gonna find who else is on. I think it's gonna be so we've got Groberi. He's currently down 3 tenths on this lap at the moment, currently P6. As he comes through sector 3, he's going to need an amazing bus stop chicane here to make an improvement on his time. He may choose to box instead, as he does. He's not going to improve his time. No point wasting another couple of minutes going round. And who else is on a hot lap at the moment? So G-Infamous on 8 lap. Benny Bino just leaving the pits as well. King Bobus, he's back this week. He didn't race last week, so he's going to be looking for a good result today. We hope he can get in the points. I'm going to be cheering him on anyway. Yes, the mountain driver is looking to improve, get a little bit quicker, get that consistency going. But Spa is a difficult track. The curbs can be absolutely deadly on certain areas of the track, but Bobus will be able to start on an alternate strategy if he doesn't qualify into the top 10. He can start on the mediums or the hards. There's Pepsi Lover, currently P15. He's going to be looking to improve as well, but he has been in the battle towards the back there with King Bobus. So G Infamous is up at the moment, just in sector 2. As he heads down towards Puon. We jump on board with him as I think it's a Red Bull that is just ahead. Actually, we will go and have a look at. Oh, so Bogarov's on 8 lap. We'll jump on board with him shortly. Benny Buno 8 lap as well. So we'll jump back to G Infamous here, who is coming through sector 3. He's 3 tenths up at the moment. Could maybe squeak out another 10th in the final chicane, which would put him up into P6. So in the chat, any guys watching, do you have any predictions? Who do you think is going to win? Me personally, I think it'll be between the usual suspects, Benny Buno, D-Max. Florian's got some great pace here today as well. So G Infamous does move up into P5. We'll go back down to Benny Buno, who's switched to the soft tyre. Is not liking his current position on the mediums there, deciding he wants to get to the front of the grid, be up there with D-Max and Florian. Is the main man, Bogarovsky. He's currently 2 tenths up in sector 1. He's going to be looking to get into that top 10 if he can. We'll jump on board with him here as he heads down towards Puon. This is where I sat for about 12 hours in the rain and watched no F1 race. It was not good. So here he comes, nice and smooth. If the McLaren, as Benny Buno had, yeah, Benny Buno must have made a mistake somewhere, and he allows Bog to pass, which is good. We don't want to see any blocking in qualifying. We want to see all the guys putting in the best times they can, and we don't really want reports going in for blocking and stuff like that. So as he approaches the bus stop chicane, nice and smooth through here. Good exit in third, gets plenty of traction, crosses a line into P9. He's not far off P7, P6. They can, you know, with the track evolving all the time, he may very well be able to improve on that. And oh, sorry, there's only a few minutes remaining, so no, that is their time's done. And we will try and find Florian, who's on a hot lap. He may have got his lap affected there. I think it was by the Ferrari. He runs wide. It's not an invalidation, because he's coming through sector 2. Oh, and yeah, he's off, so that lap is gone. Relia is in P2 at the moment as it stands. So D-Max on pole, 143.6, just getting ahead of Florian there. Florian really needed to hook that final lap up. Okay, so Relia, I think he's backed out of his lap. Guna is off the track. Who else we've got coming over the finishing line here? So we've got Groberi. He crosses the line, he improves to a P6 in the Williams. Behind man like Donkey. And who else do we have on a hot lap? So Mercedes. I think that is qualifying done. Whilst this gets wrapped up, I will go and grab a drink as we get ready for the race. So there we have it, that is qualifying done, and we will run through the grid as the formation lap begins. As we have D-Max, he's on pole once again. He's off to our teammate down there in 8th at the moment. Benny Bruno, one of the fast drivers, going for the alternate strategy on the medium. Looks like he believes the strategy will be a lot stronger than position, with safety cars being a high possibility on this track, especially through Eau Rouge under racing conditions. See many incidents there over the years, and in real life and in online league racing. So the drivers, they're setting up their fuel strategy at the moment, and the guys from P11 down, they're picking which tyres they want to run as well. Also, just picking what pit strategies they want to go for this race. Obviously that all goes out the window as soon as we get a safety car, but usually the back of the grid, P11 downwards, they'll be going for a medium or a hard compound, usually, and they should be getting ready to start their formation lap now. So we got George in the chat, big Grosberry fan, cheering him on. Yeah, Grosberry be hoping to have a good solid race here today for the Williams. In the constructors, the Williams, yeah, Williams currently P9 with Grosberry he's currently in 13th in the championship, so looking to get into that top 10 today. He's got 1 point, and another top 10 finish will be good for him. Maybe able to jump a few places there. So we'll go through the grid as we've got D-Max here on pole position once again. Just behind him we have Florian in the Red Bull, showing some great pace here today. Reliot just behind him in the Alfa Romeo with his teammate just behind. The Alfa Romeos are looking to get into that top 3 of the constructors. They're just 7 points away from Ferrari. Heading down the grid, we've got Man Like Donkey in P5 with Grosberry just behind. G Infamous in 7th with No Judge just behind him. 9th place, the main man Bogorovsky here in the Ferrari. Another solid showing from him. In P10 we have Skipper with his teammate just behind him, Composite. So second in the championship at the moment, Benny Bruno in the McLaren. He's no teammate today. He's going for the alternate strategy, hoping to make that work. Behind him in the Williams we've got Wardy and Business Hodges just behind. Then towards the back we've got Pepsi Lover in the Alpine with King Bobus in 16th, and our newest driver, HQ Ebo, he's at the back in the Haas. He'll be looking to finish the race today, have a good solid race. Hopefully doesn't make too many mistakes. I'm not sure how experienced he is in online racing, but we'll find out this week and get to know him a bit more, and hopefully he has a really good race today. So welcome to DTR HQ. We hope you enjoy the race and enjoy the stream afterwards also. So we got MG Max in the chat as well. Go D-Max 50, pole position. Yeah, D-Max really good driver, as we've seen in the last 2 races in Mexico and Baku, as the grid begins to form. Hopefully no incidents at turn 1. Hopefully they can all get through smoothly. Well, here we go. So we are 5 lights and away we go. D-Max looks like he's got a good start from here, and the Red Bull as well, as he tucks in behind into turn 1 as we come through turn 1. All clean so far. Oh, what? No, not all clean. Got 2 cars making contact there, going off. So yellow flag sector 1 as we head back towards the front. We got the Red Bull of Florian having a look at D-Max here as we're heading up down the Kemmel Straight towards LeCombs, as he's looking to go outside inside through here, but just wasn't further enough alongside D-Max and Reliot just behind. So far no safety car, no retirements, which is good. Groberi's had a bad start to the race there, dropping down to P17 from contact with Man Like Donkey, I think, at turn 1. That pushes King Bobus up to 15th, gaining a couple of places as Florian is having another look at D-Max. Remember, no DRS at the moment as they come through the end of sector 2. Want to stay off that curb there, get some traction down. So these two very quick at the moment, pulling away from Reliot, who's just behind. He's got his teammate as a shield behind him, so they can use some good strategy there. As Florian still right on the back of D-Max here. Benny Buno gained a few places. He's up to 8th at the moment on the soft tyre. As we can have a look at the position changes here as they go wheel to wheel. He's got past D-Max going into turn 1, both on the soft tyre. Maybe Florian just has a better race setup on his car, but he's again just showing some really good pace here without DRS, getting past D-Max as they go through Radion and up to the Kemmel Straight. So we'll have a look down the grid, see where we've got some key battles going on here. The Telfa Romeos are doing really well as Reliot maintains his 3rd position. Just going to head down through the grid a little bit. So we've got No Judge No Problem with Skipper right on the back of him, with G-Infamous in tow also. Benny Buno's still in 8th place there, gaining 4 positions. So a little bit of a train forming from Guna and Reliot. So yeah, Reliot dropping off from D-Max and Florian at the front. Florian's got on over a 1 second gap to D-Max now, breaking that DRS. So Groberi, rough start at the beginning, going off, 5 second penalty, fucking bogus, severe collision. What has happened here? His front wing is intact. So Wardy's got a penalty. So here we go, we jump on board with our new driver, HQ, as he comes towards the bus stop chicane. Gained 6 places at the moment, having a really good race, really good start, and not too far off the points. He's just 4 seconds adrift from Composite, but he'll be looking to close that gap as soon as he can. So we're going to make our way through further up the grid. We're on board with Composite as he's just behind Bogorovsky, going through Eau Rouge and Radion, heading up the Kemmel Straight. DRS is now enabled as Composite gets the move done on Bogorovsky there to move up to P9. We will shuffle up the grid once more with G-Infamous here in the trail behind Skipper, both on the soft tyres as they come through sector 2. Benny Buno still behind there, he's still in 8th on the mediums. His race is going to plan so far. If we head towards the front, we've got D-Max who's closed the gap a little bit on Florian. And and Gunnar now 5 seconds adrift from the two leaders. So from what we can see at the moment, I think Benny Buno needs to get as much DRS as he can, get past this train when they pit, and try to gain ground on Florian and D-Max, who are just pulling away at the front at the moment. So we've got Reliot down to P5. No problem, I think, has just got past him as well as they enter the bus stop chicane. So will Reliot get a bad exit there for No Judge No Problem? Loses the back end a little bit as they approach turn 1 side by side with Ferrari and Mercedes side by side behind as well. I think the Mercedes goes deep. I think it was the Mercedes of Skipper that went deep there. Or was it composite? I'm not sure. So Benny Buno looked to run wide a little bit through Radion. He's got the DRS now and he's up to P7 with all the ongoings there as a pack begins to bunch up here in the midfield. So Skipper is down to P10th. He's lost a couple of more places there. I think he ran a little wide. No damage, so it's just a driver error during that chicane. G-Infamous still in the back of Judge as they go through Puon. So we've got no retirements yet and no safety cars, which is a shock on this track, as it's the Red Bull there. Florian's had an off. I wonder if D-Max and Florian made contact there. We missed that. So D-Max now way out in front on his own. Florian has made a mistake or had contact. We'll have to see if Florian's got any damage on that Red Bull. He's got damage to his front end plate there. He's going to have to pit. So Florian is coming into the pits, forced to a new strategy now after getting damage. Looked like it was in sector 3. And now Benny Buno's up to 5th on the medium tyre, beginning to chase down G-Infamous in front in the Ferrari, who's taking a look at No Judge No Problem through Eau Rouge and Radion. Both take it nice and cleanly, with G-Infamous opening the DRS. Should get an easy overtake here as he heads into Lacombe. No Judge still trying to stay with him, but needs to let that position go so he doesn't ruin both their races. If he can keep up, he can get DRS again, and he did the right thing, just yielding to G-Infamous there. Gunnar, just jump on board with him for a second. He's currently in P2, 5.3 seconds behind D-Max, and having a good solid race there. Composite is behind Benny Buno, but he is on those softer tyres. These tyres will start to struggle in the next few laps with it being such a large track. So we got yellow flag in sector 2. A Ferrari, I think it's Bogarovsky, who's had an off there. Not sure if that's contact or just a mistake. He's currently P10 and he will likely box and get rid of is that off again? Oh, Bogarovsky. Ferrari in trouble again, as he needs a front wing. He needs to get that front wing replaced. So this forces Bogarovsky's strategy. He may come in for the hards and see how far he can take them. So as we go through the rest of the grid, we have D-Max. D-Max has pitted. He's just exiting the pit now, coming out in front of Man Like Donkey. Dennis in the chat. D-Max, keep the pressure on. Big D-Max fan there. So D-Max has pitted. He is in P8. He is on the medium tyre now. As we will get up the... Not many penalties at the moment, and we will keep up with the tyres on the board. So, yep, D-Max currently net P1 as it stands, as Skipper comes through Sector 2. It would be nice if you could pick this helicopter shot more often, as it's a great view, especially with a few battles going on in a bit of a train. It would be nice to be able to select that view more often if Codemasters could do that. So we'll look for where the battles are on track at the moment. We've got both Mercedes separated by an Alfa Romeo at the moment. We've got Skipper just behind Relia, and they was having a bit of a disagreement in the Discord chat before the race regarding Baku and an incident that happened. So both guys claiming it wasn't their fault, and Skipper did not have video evidence of it. So there was a disagreement, and it'll be interesting to see this little rivalry. Oh, I thought we was going to get a little bit of a rivalry battle on track there, but Relia decides to pit. He wants to get rid of those softs, and meanwhile Benny Bruno up to P2 now. 6-lap old mediums, and again his strategy is just going exactly how he wants it. He's got some fresh air now to gain some time that he lost in a bit of a train earlier on, as we still have a few soft runners left, currently on 6 laps. HQ is pitted. He might have had a bit of damage there, so he's pitted and put the softs on. Obviously going to have to stop again. Currently up into P11 after a couple of more pit stops. Florian, who was leading the race at one point, he has pitted as he begins to exit the pit lane, and he's on the medium tyre at the moment. So Florian looking to recover his race. So clean race so far. No safety cars or VSCs. As we've got Bogorovsky, had a bit of trouble earlier on. He is currently down into P16, but this is a long race and anything can happen. Looking through the board at any battles, we've got Grobari here right on the back of our new driver HQ as they come through Sector 2. We've got Grobari on the medium tyres and HQ on those soft tyres. Grobari being cautious there through P1, not wanting to catch the inside curb. HQ has a little bit of a weaving moment there as Grobari really begins to close down on HQ. So Grobari's going to have a look here on the inside, thinks better of it. He knows he's going to get the DRS down the Kemmel Straight if he stays within a second, as they go side by side as HQ goes really wide there. And HQ is going to have a look up the inside, brakes very late. He's gone very deep there into turn 1 into La Sauce, as Grobari gets a much better exit with that, and HQ could get the DRS here if he can stay within that second. He's 8 tenths behind as he opens the DRS, and he's going to try and keep up with Grobari there and fight for that P11 back if he can, just avoiding the curbs there, coming through Lecombs and Malmedy as he runs wide. I think he got a penalty for that as they come through, heading towards Rivage, down towards Pouon. As looking at the table, this is the only battle on track at the moment, so we'll stay with these guys. And as man like Donkey, he's getting brought into the battle as well. He's just pitted for fresh mediums. They may not have warmed up enough yet, as he's under pressure here from the Williams and the Haas just behind. I'm not sure if Man Like Donkey has damage. He doesn't have damage, just struggling. Bit of wheel-to-wheel action here. Up the back straight with HQ in tow just behind. He's going to look up the inside. Catches a little bit of curb there. I think... Oh, hang on. What? I don't know what's happened here, but... Okay. So it looks like Man Like Donkey's lost connection, explaining the really slow pace there in Sector 3. I'm not sure why HQ dove into... I mean, he's dove across the track into the pits there. Obviously not enjoying those soft tyres as he puts on the mediums. So heading up towards the front of the with the leaders. Benny Buno currently leading. Opted for that alternate strategy there. Working really well for him. Plenty of fresh air there to go at with D-Max. I would tell you how far he's behind, but the timing board is having a little bit of a moment as... So here we go, D-Max has pitted already, he has pitted once, he's used 2 compounder tyres, he's free to choose any compound after this. His next pit stop, as the timing board begins to correct itself. We have quite a few gaps here, but we're going to go down with the Mercedes drivers who are 7th and 8th, within a second of each other. As composite just breaks that, as his composite is on back of the on the back of Reliot. Should get DRS, but Reliot will get it also. There's no judge, no problem on the hard tyre. Just ahead, he won't have great pace on those tyres with the mediums behind him. So in the chat we do have a few fans of D-Max, Groberi, and good to see the support for those drivers. Groberi having a troubled start, but currently in P10, recovered well and can build on his current position, and D-Max currently sat in a really good position in P2, already pitted once, as he's going to try and home in on Benny Buno on those fresher tyres. So this is the so we got, he's going to jump on board Groberi. He's approaching the slow car of Man Like Donkey, who may have reconnected as they come through Pouan. So here we go, Skipper just behind Reliot as they come through the bus stop chicane, and they're on similar age tyres, and hopefully we see a good battle from those two today. So we've got yellow flag sector 1. Can't see anything on the map for that. I think everything's fine as we stay with this train as they come through Eau Rouge and Radion heading down the Campbell Straight. So we've got the Mercedes here taking a look at the AlphaTauri of No Judge. Gets past, he's on the softer tyre, runs a little deep. The AlphaTauri comes in, hits the Mercedes. Didn't look like there was anything bad in there, it was just racing. As we got a bit of wheel-to-wheel action through turn 5 and 6 of Lecombs from the Mercedes and AlphaTauri. So it's a really interesting train we've got at the moment. It's coming down from P5 with Judge on those hard tyres, causing a little bit of a bottleneck at the moment. So you go on board with composite. So Benny Buno, he pops into the pits there, wanting to get rid of those mediums after 10 laps. As it'll be interesting to see what strategy he goes on from here. Possibly the hard tyre, or if he, no, sorry, he will. Oh, composites had a moment there, just avoids hitting the wall, which allows Skipper, his teammate, to get past. Avoiding the damage was crucial there for composite. He retains, you know, he's lost one place from that one mistake, and he should get it back here down the DRS with that. So Elliott gains P4 from No Judge again on the harder tyre, as he's trying his best to keep the cars behind him in this halfway point of the race. So Benny Buno has opted for the softs. I think he's going to go medium soft and have a really fast second half of this race, avoiding the hard slower tyre as Elliott runs wide with No Judge no problem doing the same, getting a 3-second time penalty there. I think No Judge followed Elliott's line through there. Florian beginning to gain some places back down there in P12, just behind Groberi at the moment. Both of those on mediums. So here we go, No Judge having a look at Elliott once again, up through sector 3. Elliott's right on the back of him. Is he going to take a look here into the bus stop? I think he's just going to tuck him behind, get the DRS, heading towards La Source, trying to get right behind him for that DRS straight down the Kemmel straight. Two Mercedes just behind there, within DRS also, unable to shake those guys as Elliott cuts inside, gets a better exit than No Judge no problem on them softer medium tyres as well, and No Judge just tucks in behind there and waits patiently for his DRS, as No Judge has a little wobble with the Mercedes right up behind as well. What can Elliott do here with the cars behind, with the DRS? Composite's going to gain on him as well, but not be close enough, as Composite nearly makes contact with Elliott. So these guys swapping positions quite a bit, fighting for this P4 spot at the moment. This is allowing Gunnar to break away. He's currently 8 seconds up the road. D-Max a comfortable 12 seconds ahead over G Infamous. Another good race for the Ferrari driver there in P2. We got Bogorowski down there in P13 on a bit of a recovery mission from his mishaps earlier on, as we are still on board with Elliott in this really interesting battle for P4. Benny Buno, so he's 15 seconds behind Skipper at the moment on the soft tyre, looking to really catch him up as soon as possible and become a part of this train. So Composite once again on the back of Elliott here with his teammate just behind in P7. Both get the DRS, the Mercedes hunting the Alfa Romeo and the Alfa Tauri down, sticking with them as they exit La Source, heading down towards Eau Rouge and Radion here, as Benny Buno sets the fastest lap there, the 146. Composite keeps it tidy, still on the back of Elliott. He should gain this P5 position here with Skipper, who's lost a little bit of time through there. Does Composite have enough track? Doesn't have enough room to get alongside Elliott there. I thought he would have had the overtake done, but he was low on battery, as Elliott had enough to defend with. As Gunnar is right on the back of G Infamous now, wanting that second place position with similar aged medium tyres in these podium spots at the moment. With No Judge, No Judge has gained half a second on Gunnar in the last lap or two. So we have 8 laps remaining of this 22 lap Spa-Francorchamps race. Is just looking towards the back of the grid. We've got Pepsi Lover down there in 17th with HQ just ahead of him. King Bobus doing good there. He's having a solid race in P15. Florian, one of the fastest drivers today. Something happened. I think he was in sector 2 where he was in the lead with D-Max by quite a bit, and he came off and got damage, and that it's affected his race massively. Looking for that safety car, which hasn't come yet. We've got yellow flags in sector 1 at the moment. Not sure what that's for. They've gone as Guna is up to P2, as we've got G Infamous, who has just pitted, and the train continues with Relia and the 2 Mercedes in tow just behind. Are they going to get the overtake done? The Mercedes opts to keep it sensible and clean through Lecombs as they head down through sector 2. Looking at the timing board, once again, this is the key battle we want to stay on board with here. In P6 with Skipper, who's sticking with these guys ahead, his teammate Composite and Relia in P4 in the Alfa Romeo. We're going to look at strategies. These 3 drivers are all on the same strategy, with Composite with the fresher mediums by 2 laps over Relia and 1 lap over his teammate. So Benibuno is making huge gains at the moment, coming up to this fighting pack here for this 4th place spot, with G Infamous in the mix with that also. Will the Mercedes of Composite be able to... No. Composite will not have DRS here. His teammate just behind will, and should get this move done down the Kemmel Straight. Elliott doing a good job there of just managing to pull away from Composite. As Skipper flies past his teammate into the comms, and his teammate is not going to fight that one, and they will continue on lap 16 here of this Spa-Francorchamps Grand Prix, the 3rd race of the season. We've already been to Mexico and Baku, as we have another great race on shore here today. So no safety cars. Just got a 3-second time penalty for Florian, as we'll jump into those and see where we are at with penalties. So no judge, no problem. In a great position in P3, but has those 6 seconds of penalties. Skipper also in a great position as well with the 3-second penalties. You don't want to get these penalties. At the end of the race, they punish you so much, and a late safety car will see all penalties. Drivers drop back quite a bit. So Skipper, he's still in P5 here. He's fighting with Relia, but he does have that penalty. Relia is doing his best to keep up with no judge, no problem, as he knows he's got 6 seconds of penalties. You can see that on his screen, as he just needs to keep within that 6-second window of him to get that final podium spot, as he loses a bit of time there through Radion on the exit as they come down the Kemmel Straight. The Mercedes of Composite just behind, also taking a look as he gains on Relia as they come through Lecombs once again. So it's going to flick through the grid. Got Gunnar at the moment leading the race, having a great race so far. We're going to look at the tyres on 8 lap old mediums. Can he get these to the end? That is the question. And can D-Max catch Gunnar within that time frame? I think he will, as D-Max, yet again, another solid race from him. Not put a foot wrong all the way through quali and the race so far, with his teammate just behind. Unfortunately does have the penalties, but this AlphaTauri team look like a really good team this season. P4, Skipper for the Mercedes, having another solid drive once again, as he has 3 seconds of penalties gaining. He could, you know, get that podium spot as it stands, but Reliot would leapfrog both of those, with Composite getting past Reliot in sector 3 here, and Reliot has G-Infamous right behind on those softs, as well as Reliot slows down, avoids contact with Composite as we begin a new lap. And G-Infamous as the DRS here as they approach La Source. Both guys give each other plenty of space, which is good to see. And G-Infamous is going to get a better exit on those soft tyres as he begins to line up Composite as he comes through Radion there. So G-Infamous looking to get right back up there in the mix, as Benny Buno was just pitting for softs as well, doing the medium soft strategy on this lap. The last few laps are going to be the laps where he gains the most, as so Skipper currently in this podium place because of the penalties as it stands, but he needs to get that gap below 3 seconds. G-Infamous is going to be right on the back of him in absolutely no time on those soft tyres coming through sector 3 here. It's becoming a really close race in this P3 to P7 section of the field, as we have a move here from G-Infamous. I think he overtook Composite. Oh, that was close. That was close. Luckily, no damage caused there to G-Infamous as he begins his lap 19 of the race, hunting down this podium position. And Skipper as Span in sector 1. That's really unfortunate. He was having such a good race, losing the back end there on the exit. The tyre life in those he may just be struggling with that, as his teammate Skipper Composite in P5, and G-Infamous is now up into the podium places with all penalties considered. He will look to get the move done in the next couple of laps on those fresh softs. Gunnar, 10 lap old mediums. D-Max has got past him. Nice fresh softs for him, and he's just going to bring the car home and seal the win. Gunnar just needs to keep going on this stint, doesn't need to pit, just try and bring it home if he can. But around 10, lap 11, we're seeing drivers struggling on these tyres. Heading down the grid, Benny Buno at the moment, he's got 3 laps to try and gain as many places as he can. Tried the alternate strategy, it's not working for him as it stands, with no safety cars, and being stuck in traffic has affected his race quite a bit. Maybe struggled in quali a little bit as well. Possibly not the best track for him, but he is a driver with pace and he's usually at the front. So looking at the battles here, we've got Florian, he's just behind his teammate. They're looking for a P8 battle here as Benny Buno sets the fastest lap of the race. As Florian edge through Orange and Radion, he's gonna get the DRS on his teammate who should just let him past. He's beginning to save a bit of ERS there on the straight as Florian has totally run out of ERS, also gets the move done and overtakes his teammate. Up to P8 there for him as we'll look at the penalties at the moment, and man like Donkey just needs to stick in within 3 seconds of his teammate. So we're going to go towards the front of the grid of the pack with G-Infamous just behind No Judge. G-Infamous doesn't need to overtake Judge for this podium place, but he obviously is going to get past very shortly and try to close the gap on Gunnar on those medium tyres, put some pressure on him, maybe force Gunnar into making a mistake and get a penalty. As we go back to tyres, so yeah, these mediums will be really struggling at the moment as G-Infamous should get this move done nice and easily on Judge, who's having a really good race on those hard tyres. He's making them work. He has got penalties. They do have less grip. You can run wide a little bit more and pick up those penalties as G-Infamous tries to break that 1 second barrier before this Kemmel straight, and we should see No Judge glide past here. G-Infamous trying to defend, tries his best but avoids the contact, stays right behind him here as they come through turn 7 of Malmedy, coming down to Brussels and Rivage here. So still right on the back of him. He knows he's got the podium sealed at the moment. He doesn't need to risk all this to get past him, as he'll weigh up those options as he approaches this final lap. So Gunnar has in fact got a penalty. Commentator's curse there, as there's the tyres age, they lose the grip, and it's easy to run wide and struggle with the traction on 12 lap old mediums. So this really makes it interesting now. So we've got G-Infamous currently in P3. He needs to get past Judge here and have an amazing lap to try and put pressure on Gunnar and get within the 4 seconds. I don't think it's possible, but you just never know as they exit La Source and head down towards Eau Rouge and Radion. So G-Infamous this time opted. Oh, so we've got a corner cut there from Judge, struggling on those hard tyres. G-Infamous, it affected him. He had to lift, but he is going to get past here with the DRS. He didn't want to give the DRS to Judge on this final lap of the race, and he gets that podium position sealed there. So G-Infamous 8 seconds behind Gunnar. It's going to be a really big ask to try and get within 5 seconds with Gunnar having that penalty. Just looking at the board, there's no battles going on for the rest of the grid, so we'll head up front with D-Max, who's had a brilliant race, having a really good season at the moment and in charge of this championship as it stands, with Benny Buno down there in P7, his title challenger this season, as he opted for that alternate strategy which didn't really work out for him. As we said, just with there being no safety cars, it affected his race, but an absolute brilliant race here from D-Max, who crosses the line and is a race winner once again here in D5, with Gunnar crossing the line here, P2. Brilliant race from him, the Alfa Alfa Romeo driver, with G Infamous just behind here in P3, getting that final podium spot. So a very clean race, no safety cars, no VSCs. It's what we like to see. We want the guys just to be racing every lap, and we don't want to be stuck behind the safety car for half of the race. And the safety car does improve a lot of drivers' races who are at the back and brings them back into contention. But on the stream it can be a bit boring behind the safety cars, and this definitely wasn't boring today. We had plenty of wheel-to-wheel action in this Division 5 league race, the third race of the season, as D-Max gets another win here. So just gonna look at, so we're taking a look at the calendar for the rest of the season. So the next race is San Marino. That's round 4, with Austria on the following week there. So I think the McLarens will want Sean Long back. Mr. Long, don't know why I said Sean Long. Mr. Long, they'll want him back to keep up with the Constructors' Challenge, with Composite there being driver of the day, as we see the podium with D-Max there on the top step, and the Alfa Romeo and Ferrari up there with him as well. So a great race from him, as he's trying to get a good hold on this championship. Very good driver, plenty of pace, and we'll have to see what he can do in San Marino. So yeah, that is today's race. We appreciate you tuning in and watching, as always. So as we said, next week is San Marino, round 4 of the Division 5 DTR Season 2. And just going to go through the top 10 here. We've got D-Max in first place, with Gunnar and Infamous in second and third, locking that podium up. Composite just missing out on the podium there, with Reliot just behind. We've seen Skipper in P10 there. He had a bit of a moment late on. Bogorovsky just finishing outside of the points there in P13. Had a couple of mistakes early in the race. And I think that is about it. So thank you very much for watching, and we will see you again next week.